Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to my kitchen. Today I would like to show you how to make bread using beer instead of water as the wet ingredient. Like this, a uniquely flavored bakery quality artisan bread. One simple recipe with hundreds of options. You can use a lager for a mild flavor or an ale for a bold flavor. The beer aisle is loaded with options. I'm going to be using 14 ounces of wet ingredients. I'm going to start with 12 ounces of beer. Tip the bowl on the side. I don't want to get as much head. Now, if you're drinking beer, you can add 2 more ounces of beer to it. If you're not drinking beer at the time, you can just add 2 ounces of water because the beer has already brought plenty of flavor to it. One-quarter teaspoon instant yeast. Now I'm going to stir it in right now because when I add the salt, it'll foam. And I'm just trying to get the ingredients mixed. I'll stir it one more time. And we're ready for the flour. 3 1/2 cups flour. Now a lot of people use 3 cups of flour when they make bread. I use 3 1/2. That's because if you take a 5-pound bag of flour and divide it into 5 loaves, it's 3 1/2 cups each. One-half cup, and I put it on the side. If you put it in the middle, it'll splash. And that's 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to give it a stir to combine. And yes, I use the handle end of a spoon. If I put this end in, I'll have a big clump of dough on the end. All I want to do is introduce the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. It wants to come together. It'll come together real easily. And I also use a glass bowl because it stays in place better than a plastic one. You can use anything you want, but that's why I use what I use. Now I've got a little dry flour on the side. I'm going to scrape it in. And I'm going to tumble it a little bit because there's some on the bottom that's dry, and that'll bring that in. And there we are. We have one shaggy ball of dough. This is just being fastidious. You don't have to do it. I just scrape the sides and put it all in the middle. And now all we need to do is put a little plastic wrap on it and it'll be ready to proof. I covered the bowl with plastic wrap and left it on the counter to proof overnight. No-knead dough should be proofed 8 to 24 hours. I generally proof overnight on the kitchen counter. The dough is proofed overnight and it's time to make the bread. As you can see, the dough has risen and more than doubled in size. I am going to bake it in this long covered baker. So I'm going to start by spraying the baker with no-stick spray. Next, degas, pull and strap. Okay, because I'm going to shape the loaf a little bit to make it longer, I'm going to dust it with flour. Don't have to measure it. The dough will absorb what it wants, and the I'll let the other there. There we go. Now, just going to take it, shape it a little, get this flour in it a little bit, drop it into the baker. That's how easy it is. Cover baker and proof for 30 to 60 minutes. Before dough is fully proofed, move oven rack to the lower third of the oven and preheat the oven to 400 degrees. The oven is preheated. It's time to bake the bread. Place long baker in oven and bake at 400 degrees for 40 minutes with the top on and 5 to 15 minutes with the top off to finish the crust. The bread is ready. Let's take a look. And here we are. This is truly one of my favorite bakers. It does an excellent job of baking bread. This recipe and others like it are in my No-Knead Bread cookbook. Cookbooks are available on my website, no-kneadbreadcentral.com and amazon.com. Thanks for watching.